Hi, my name is Mary, and thank you for buying this series, and I really hope that you find it educational and helpful. I hope that by the end that you will learn to love quilting as much as I do. Now remember, this series is not about making an actual quilt. It's all that stuff becomes before that. One of the first things you have to do before you start quilting is to have a sewing machine, right? So if you already have one, you're good to go. All you really need to do is be able to make a straight stitch on your machine and make a straight stitch with, controlling the fabric with your hands. So let me go over a few of the things that I look for when I buy a machine and give you a few pointers. The first thing I would look for in a machine is the back stitch button. Will your machine go forward and reverse with just the push of a button? Speed control. I like a button up here that gives me more control over the speed beyond just the presser foot, and I'm going to show you why. If I set my setting on the lowest possible speed up here and push on my foot pedal as fast as it can go, this is what you get. That's pedal to the metal. If I put it on medium, and if I put it on fast, so the speed up here will give you much more control if you're not really confident with your foot speed yet. Number 3 is the weight of the machine. I like a big heavy machine that is not going to wiggle jiggle on the counter when I'm sewing. You saw how fast that went when I pushed on the foot as fast as it would go. Some machines that are lighter weight and easier to carry around, you might think it's convenient to carry them around. Some of the machines are so light that when you press and go fast, they just wiggle jiggle the whole table. I don't like that. I like a machine that has a drop-in bobbin, the ones that drop down in and have a cover over the top. Number 5, I like to have a bobbin winder built into the machine. Sometimes they don't have that and you have to get a separate machine that winds the bobbin. It is important that the bobbin be very tight. See if you can get a machine that has a built-in bobbin winder. Number 6. I like a machine that has a large flat work surface so that when I'm working on a block, my whole entire block is flat on the surface. If I just had this small little area here, then just that little bit of my fabric is going to be on the flat surface. This does start to make a difference the larger your quilt top gets, because the larger it gets, the heavier it gets, and it will drag. Number 7. Do you see the distance from here to my needle? I've got quite a bit of space here. Some of the lesser expensive models, the beginner models, are only going to give you about half that much workspace. So why is this important? When you're working on a square, you can see that for the most part, your fabric is going to be off to this side. So what difference does it make what space is in here? The difference that it makes is when you're working on stitching the 3 layers together, the quilting layer. And if you have to roll up your quilt so that you can work on one side of the quilt, you need space here to put that. If you just buy one of the machines that has a smaller space here, then you're really cramped. Why, you're asking? Can't I just switch this around and put all of that bulk over there and not over here? And we'll get to that when we talk about the quilting of the 3 layers together, why you don't want to do that. Also, if you're doing freehand motion quilting and you're needing to turn the quilt around a lot instead of sewing in reverse, you need space here to do that. Number 8. Number 8. The other thing that I really love to have, but you really don't have to have it, is the self-threading mechanism. If you have a machine where all you have to do is run the thread through the loops and then you push the button and it threads for you, it's really cool. One other thing that I will comment about buying your first sewing machine is to buy your sewing machine from a sewing machine dealership. Don't buy it from a craft store or a department store. The reason why I say this is there's a couple reasons. First of all, if you buy it from a sewing machine store, chances are they're going to have classes or help you one-on-one learn how to work that machine so that you can easily know how to thread it, how to make the bobbin, how to care for it, all of that stuff before you even get to the quilting part of it. The other reason is because a lot of times dealerships will take trade-ins as well. So you might have a machine that you have now that you might want to trade in for something a little bit better, or when you buy your first machine, you buy it from a place who takes trade-ins, and that might really serve you well down the line. So good luck buying your first machine, and don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. My name is Mary, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.